Hello and welcome to Battle 1 of our video series where we try to get better at card games. This is a kind of beginner recording of me and my friends playing Flesh and Blood. We've played Flesh and Blood for a long time. We're okay at the game, definitely not, anything kind of professional level or anything like that. We mainly play for fun, but we are kind of looking to branch into the competing world, maybe start attending some armories and events and things like that. This video, however, though, is kind of just me flexing my creative muscles to see if I can successfully record videos and edit them. And so here we go. It looks like Olympia starts off with the die roll win and is playing a belly buster. So Olympia wants to be able to buff his sword and wager. Wagering meaning if it hits, you win the wager. If it doesn't hit, your opponent wins the wager. And there are multiple things that can be wagered. So, for example, Belly Buster is going to wager I actually can't remember what Belly Buster wagers. I think it's a courage token. We're about to find out. So I boosted that up to the sword to 7, and then Ziggy on the left hand side here, who is piloted by my friend Sai, is blocking for 7 physical. Olympia, who is played by me, has reacted to that with an attack reaction of take the upper hand. Because we've wagered, we're able to +3 physical to the attack. And because I won the wager, Olympia's built-in effect allows me to make a gold. And there we go. There is a courage token. So the belly buster was indeed wagering a courage token. So we are cleaning up the board state and ready to probably pass. It looks like Ziggy might have an instant, which there is. There's Stardust Spike. So as an instant aura, when it leaves the arena, you gain a resource and you amp 1. But it also has wall 2. So if we take any sort of damage, Ziggy will be able to prevent 2 of those. So I've tried my best to kind of edit all of the thinking out of these videos. I think this match was probably around the 55-minute mark. I cut it all down to about 20, 22, 26 minutes, something like that. So I hope you appreciate the kind of speed of the gameplay and the text on the side, the card images on the side to be able to help. It took quite a while to have to download the images and resize them and then put them in the right place, and there was a bit of a process for it. So it looks like Ziggy is now playing a corrosive space dust. So with 2 floating, this is when this leaves the arena, deal 1 arcane damage to target hero, and then it's got ward X where X is 4 if it has a holo counter, otherwise it's 1. So it's important to note that currently it doesn't have a holo counter. So at the moment it's ward 1. Ziggy now plays out a Polaris Pulse Ray with the 2 floating left over. So whenever this fragments, deal 1 arcane damage to the defending hero. So fragmenting is when you block with something that has a defensive value of 2 or more. Yeah, 2 or more. And it will fragment and then it will get -2 to its physical. So I am blocking for 3 here, taking that down from 7 to 5. And then it looks like I take the 2 damage. Ziggy is arsenaling a card, cleaning up. I think there are also a multitude of mistakes in this game. We considered not uploading it, but to be honest, I just want to get it out there, test out the editing process, see what you guys think about it, the commentary part of it as well, if you're interested in that, and go from there really. So Olympia is now opening up with a check raise. This is of the blue variety. So the next time an attack you control wages, it gains +2. And so you're going to see this come up quite often. Basically, next time this thing wages, something happens. Normally it's, gaining power. And Olympia is now playing out a Hold'em. This is going to get +3. And when the attack attacks a hero, you may wager with them, and we are going to be wagering a vigor. So again, if my attack will hit, I will win the wager. If it is completely blocked out and prevented, then my opponent will win the wager and they would get the vigor token. So we are continuing the kind of build up of the attack with a belly buster. This time a blue one. So this one is now wagering the courage again, but instead of it getting +3 like the red gave it, this is now giving +1. So according to all of the calculations here, our golden growl is now up to 10 physical. And I believe Olympia popped a gold to pay for golden growl instead of paying 2 resources. So we are blinking in a blur reality. So we're banishing a lightning or a permanent with no holo counters, and then we will return it with a holo counter. So this now means that corrosive space dust is now a ward 4. Aphrodite is being activated, dealing 2 arcane. That little kind of animation I did there was specifically for arcane. So when I just kind of made it clear that I was taking arcane damage instead of physical. In hindsight, I probably don't need that animation if I'm going to be commentating over it anyway. Maybe I'm making a bit too much work for myself, but we shall see. Auric Shard's being played as well now as an instant aura. Probably just for the ward 1, I guess. Ziggy blocking for 3 physical. I think this is potentially blocking out everything. I think I just forgot as well that the courage was going to buff it by 1. So then Ziggy said, okay, well, I'll block out that one as well. So I believe Ziggy has blocked everything out with all of the ward and the physical blocking. So that means that Olympia loses the wager, Ziggy wins the wager, and is able to obtain the courage and vigor token. And so we'll move on to kind of clearing up the board state and then passing that off to Zyggy. It's actually important to mention as well, these two are just pure armory decks. This is the first time I've physically played Olympia. I played it a little bit on other platforms. And then this is the first time that Sai has physically played Ziggy as well. We have a competitive deck. Sai has Marionette. I have Vincere and Fang, for example. Sai also has Gravy Bones. Our other friend James has Syndra. Also has Gravy Bones. And is also building an Aurora one, which is just kind of the similar power level as these armory decks. Just so we can kind of play together and remain, competitive with each other on that kind of power level. So Ziggy's starting to turn, pops the Vigor, gains that 1 resource, isn't being used yet. This is going to come in for 5 physical, but thanks to the courage, this moves up to 6. And then this says, whenever this fragments, create a lightning flow token. Looks like Olympia is now going to block for 1 physical. So this is then going to be 5 coming through. Olympia having a think to see if there's anything else. I think at this point I didn't really know what the lightning flow token was going to be for. So we were just like, okay, go for it. We'll fragment this to take this down to 4. We'll block 3. We'll take 1. I imagine the lightning flow token is important, but we will see. I think another heads up in this game as well is that I misunderstood what Guardwell was, and I treat the chest and the arms like temper. So when that does happen, please excuse me. Again, it kind of just voids this game as a whole. But I hope to get your feedback anyway on at least the quality of the content. Okay, so Olympia is playing a cut and carve and then following that up with a hold'em. So the cut and carve is going to sharpen the sword and give it dominate, I believe. And then the hold'em is giving it +1 and wagering a vigor token. So Golden Grail is going to come in with a base of 3. Sharpening is going to make it 4. Its effect is going to make it 5 because it's wagering. And with hold'em, it's going to be 6. So this should be 6 physical. You can just see us doing the calculations now. And that should change to a 6. Perfect. There we go. So 6 dominate. One thing I love about this game is dominate. It's just one of those things where I think it's super overpowered, in my opinion. And I'm not a really big fan of Guardian, but the fact that I get to play a warrior where dominate is actually a thing makes me very happy, because it's one of those things that I hate playing against and one of those things that I love playing with. Zyggy is responding to this attack with a block 3. So if this goes through, it looks like it is going through. Zyggy takes 3 damage. We win the wager, so we should create a gold from the Olympia trigger and then a vigor from our Hold'em trigger. And then we'll simply clear up the board state. In this particular version of Olympia, it being the Armory deck, there is no real go again after attacking with the weapon. So this game, you're pretty much going to see attacking with a weapon, pumping the weapon, attacking, further pumping it with reactions, and then that'll be that. And then benefiting from the waging. Ebbing Arcstride coming out for Zyggy. Whenever this fragments, it gets go again. It looks like Olympia simply takes the 5. There is no go again, therefore the turn is over. Zyggy arsenals a card and passes it over. So Olympia now is able to start the turn with a vigor, popping and generating a floating resource. Looks like there's probably one of the first mistakes where I forget about that vigor. It's just something that I missed. I do believe at the very end I remember it and play it, and it doesn't really change the turn, I don't think. We'll see. So we start off with a check and raise, which is, I think, the next time a card wagers. This is red 1, so it gets +3. Then odds on favourite is wagering. If it hits, we get to search a card in the deck and then add it to the top of the deck. Then we're pitching a blue to come in and hit the opponent in the face. But we are not using the gold there, interestingly. We're deciding just to pitch for it. So we say 8 here, so 3 physical, 3 from cut and carve, I think it's check and raise, so that's 6, 7 from the odds on favourite, and then plus the 1 built-in effect from Golden Grail. So Ziggy's blocking for 6 physical. And then Olympia is thinking about the Arsenal card, which I think is a donkey, if I remember correctly. Nope, completely wrong. Iron Song response. So because they blocked with a card from the hand, it triggers reprise on Iron Song response, which is allowing me to get +3. So we go up to 11 physical. Ziggy is popping Starfield Veil, saying destroy this. The next aura you play this turn enters with a hollow counter. And then activate this only if we've fragmented. Which I don't think we did fragment. So there is a mistake there. But we follow it up with a circular flow tide. When this leaves the arena, it will create a lightning flow, but it has the wall too. So that's 4, 5, 6. And then we respond with a shove off with that last floating resource here. So choose a non-equipment card, defending a sword attack I control, and return it to its owner's hand. So I'm just reading the cards to see which one I'm happy to be presented to me next turn, potentially. So that reduces the block from 6 to 3. So I guess that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So take 2, I think. So this should go from 34 to 32. Which it does. Excellent. And it looks like Aphrodite is being triggered because an aura entered with a hollow counter. So taking 2 arcane. But that's great to know about that hood. I've only just caught that now. Didn't catch it in post-processing or anything like that. I'll be able to reach out to Sai. I'm pretty sure there was nothing that fragment. I didn't miss anything. I think fragmenting really only happens on Ziggy's turn. So we're just going to be searching for a card, adding it to the top of the deck. A lot of this stuff I could have cut out as well, but I just wanted to show the process to let you guys know that, you know, this is happening. Let us know if you think that you kind of just want this cut out as well. I probably would have cut it down another couple minutes or so. The videos will end up being about 15 minutes or 15, 16, 17 minutes. Just let us know if you prefer that kind of shorter form, straight to the point. Here's all the moves. And also let us know if you would prefer games that are unedited at all and you can just hear us talking about it. We'd be happy to do that as well. There are a lot of times though where we just go off rail and talk about random rubbish. Okay, so we've got a Shattering Flow Tide, which I believe is the card that I allowed to go back into the hand. That actually is a blue, which is going to be attacking for 3, not 5, what I presented on the left-hand side here. It looks like I blocked out 1. I missed that. I think I blocked out 1 and took 2 damage. I think the thing that I found with Ziggy so far is that there's not any kind of scary on hit, so you're quite happy to take the damage, but I think Ziggy might actually be there in this particular build to hit with incremental. So check raise. Next time I wager, I get +2. Then I check raise with a yellow. So this one's +3. And then Bluff Catcher. Probably one of my favourite cards at the moment in this Armory deck. So I could destroy a gold instead of paying for its resource. And the next sword wagers that the winner will get +1 intellect. Which means instead of me drawing up 4 at the end, I will get to draw up 5. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure where the 12 has come from, if Bluff Catcher does it as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll have to go back and have a look. Maybe Bluff Catcher has a pump there, or I'm just totally missing something. Anyway, the wager happens. I create a gold for Olympia, and then I draw up 5. Ziggy is now going to hit back by pitching a blue with 1 float in, so a 2 cost coming in. Blink of an eye. Whenever this fragments, you may banish a lightning or a permanent you control with no holo counters, and so basically you can blink. There are no lightning or a permanents at the moment though, so this might just be coming in for 7. Probably a really good card to block. There we go. So when this enters the arena, up to 1 target, it's +1. And so it could go up to 4. So this is going to go to 8. So now this presents you with a... I wonder if there was a better way of doing this, like wait for blocks and see what happens. I don't know. One to think about. But it looks like Olympia just took the 8 to the face and is ready to clap back with a 6-card hand. 5 in the hand, 1 in arsenal. Cut and carve, sharpen the sword, give it dominate. So we're just sitting at 4 dominate right now. What's the follow-up going to be? So we have a heads up. So it gets +3, and when it attacks, if it wagers, it gets dominate again. It will get the +3 regardless. It's just if it wagers, it gets the dominate. Obviously not relevant in this particular scenario because cut and carve has already given dominate. So we just throw down another one anyway. So 3 stacks of dominate, which doesn't do anything, just the 1. So we've got 3, 6, 7. Should be 7 dominate. I think we misunderstood this where I wasn't adding the heads up +3s yet because I thought it had to happen when we wagered. That isn't correct. It should have buffed it up straight away. But Ziggy's declaring no blocks, and as an attack reaction, we are activating Prized Gala, which I've noticed I've not put up on the right hand side here. But Prized Gala basically says as an attack reaction, pay 1 resource and wager a gold, I believe. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus that. Yeah, 11. Sounds right. And that's wagering the gold. So we are warding and then taking 10 damage. So we've got Ziggy down to 10 with Olympia sitting on 15 with a gold generated. Should be 2. Yeah, 2 gold there. 1 from the prize gala, 1 from Olympia's built-in effect. Cleaning up the board state, and then we'll be passing that over to Ziggy. Importantly, note here, it looks like our IP. So even with a 6-card hand, I couldn't convert it fully. Once again, pitching a blue, leaving 1 floating. So another 2 costs coming out here. Scattering Conflux. So when this fragments, we create an embodiment of lightning token. So coming in for 7. Seems to be quite a common stat. 2 for 7 in this Ziggy deck. We are blinking in an Auric Shards, giving it +1. So here you can see we're blocking for 4. This is correct, but I believe I put -1 counters on this when I should have been -2 counters. A little heads up on my mistake there. So here we are blocking for 4. Because both of those have 2 value, it's fragmented twice. So it would technically go down to 3, but then plus because of the shard. Looks like we're activating Ziggy, blinking in to bring it with a hollow counter, giving it +4. So this goes up to 8. We're blocking for 4. And then we are blinking in another aura, giving it +1. So take 5 damage, 10 apiece. Then with another floating resource, we'll ping for 2 arcane from the Aphrodisias. Aphrodisias. That'll do. Moving over to Olympia now, starting his turn on 8 life. 2 gold to be used, so the golden grail will be free essentially. We are pitching a blue to come in with a big slick. This is a +5, and when it wagers, the winner draws a card. This is another one of my favorite cards in the entire Armory deck. Really, really enjoy playing this card. Then we will come in with the Golden Grail using a gold to pay for the attack. So 5, 6, 7, that's 8 damage plus the 1 from the Golden Grail because of the wager is 9. Ziggy is throwing down a 10 block, 3 from hand, 1 equipment, and then also the ward is on board as well. Iron Song response hits the field, taking this to 12. And then a take the upper hand is also taking it up to 15. So with all that said and done, Ziggy took 2 damage by the looks of that. And then played a donkey as well for 1 extra damage. I think the reason that I did that was because I asked if he would allow me to do that 1 extra damage, because then I benefit from the draw from Big Slick and then sticking the card in the arsenal, which Sai graciously allowed me to do. Ziggy responds with a bit of a setup turn. Pierce Reality hitting the field. Aura Spectra. I think that's the one where it gives +1 to the first illusionist attack. So let's see what Olympia can do here. So we're playing Rake Back. So we could destroy a gold if we wanted to instead of paying the cost. It doesn't look like we did that. Then we follow up with Money Where Your Mouth Is. The next attack gets +3, and then we wager a gold. Check raise. This one looks to be a yellow, but I've put a red in there, which would be +3. So 3, 6. I don't know if the rakeback does any boosting here. I imagine this would be 10. Oh, 2 from the rakeback, so 12. Okay. Just counting my taps there. So 12 physical. This is lethal, so it has to be respected. It's actually double lethal. Zyggy blocking for 9. That means 3 will go through. Oh, we have an Into the Muck. So we get to banish a non-equipment defending card. That would take them down to 6. 6 damage coming through and ended the game. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it if you spend some time with the feedback. That'd be amazing. Thank you.